everybody, did you know you can go to colinmullen.com in order to get art and art prints? It's why I made the website. It's for art. You'd go there and you can send me money. You just throw money at me and I throw art at you. It's like a paintball fight, but weird. colinmullen.com. So let's talk about this work real quick and then we'll get into the rest of the situation. I had a flood happen. Like the apartment upstairs, like the pipes burst and then it started flooding water into my chair where I sit and do art and into the light fixture. So I didn't have a light fixture for a few days, which was a bit of a problem. Lighting this area was basically impossible. I also had to remove my markings for where to set the camera, so the camera might be a little bit more wobbly than usual. Additionally, just about the piece itself, this is a still life. Contextually, people like to believe that like still lives are about like, you know, if you were in the know, if you were part of that community, if you were from that time and era, you would know that, oh, this means that and that means that. You know, for instance, like butter and cheese next to bread. It's like, wow, this person's not only rich, but they're also a sinner. Because like, you know, that's too luxurious, you know. So it's an interesting thing, and I just thought it would be a fun thing to do. I was looking through like old photos of things that I wanted to paint, and I saw this, and I'm like, yeah, let's do that. So yeah, that's what this one is. Anyway, onto the subject of this video. So first off, what is a juried exhibit? A juried exhibit is, or a juried gallery show, is one where they've brought people in who are already famous or already of reputation in the art community, either locally or internationally, whatever happens. And they basically give a nod to certain people, the people who actually get into the show. They give them the like, hey, this is good. And because that person already has reputation, that reputation gets onto you some. It's like, okay, well, this guy that we already know is good thinks that this person's art is good. So that's, it must be a little bit good. And it means that like, it's not just a show where they've just gotten random people. It means the quality of art in the gallery itself is a lot higher. And for the most part, I'd like to say that the art at that show is really good. There's a couple pieces that I'm like, but you know, maybe it's a personal taste thing. I don't know. But, all in all of it looks like that was their thing. They tried really hard and they made the best possible art that they could. As far as like how it went, and if you want to get into one, if you want to find out where you need to go, I just Googled, like art scene Austin, or I forget exactly what the term was, but I started looking in nearby towns for like gallery show and then the town name, and I just went to all the towns in the nearby area, Googled that. Just Google what you're trying to find, I guess, in those kind of terms, like gallery show, juried exhibit, art scene, and just put whatever town you're in. And then kind of look around from there. Once I found a couple of places, like a couple of organizations, I've just saved them, I've bookmarked them, and then I'm going to try and get into other ones in that situation. So I didn't win like first or second or third in the art contest thing, but that being said, I got in over other people, which gives me reputation in the local community, which is important. My parents like came over to console me after they did the award show, and they're like, yeah, it's okay. And I'm like, no, it actually is. It is actually okay. You guys don't understand. This is like that I didn't expect to win anything. That's not how it works. I kind of forgot about the prizes actually until we got there, and they were like, we're going to be doing the awards here in a second. And I'm like, oh, right. They're giving away money. So as far as things that went weird was, first off, if you want to see my work, one's on the 3rd floor and one's on the 4th floor. And that's something I hadn't thought of, that they were going to split my work apart. It's the Sotenbury 1988 and Arundel Chapel works. They'll be up on, I'll make sure the speed paint is at the end of this video. But I wasn't expecting that. I also didn't know what to wear. Like, what do you wear to something like that? You know, my wife pointed out something that a friend of hers said, that, you know, artists usually look like their work. And to some extent, I think that's true. I definitely remember that from college. That, you know, there's definitely a bit of that. So I guess I should address differently entirely. I feel like my work is too small. I think the one that I'm working on right here that you're watching is about as small as I'll go from here on out. Because I think I saw a couple people just like instantly get taken over to a bigger piece that was directly next to one of mine because it was bigger. And, you know, it not being big enough meant that they just couldn't ignore it. The people who stopped and actually looked at it liked it more than, you know, some of the other ones around it, I think. I was listening in rather than trying to have conversations with them because I'm awkward. So that's another thing I need to learn is, like, how to talk to people. I just kind of lurked nearby, just being like, please like my work. I did talk to a couple other artists. Everyone had, like, a badge. So, like, if they were having a conversation and I was going by, I would just, like, randomly interject myself into the conversation. Again, because I don't know how to talk to other human beings, apparently. That worked okay. One of the people I spoke to like that was really cool about it. Another guy who I will not mention by name or by work in case if you decide to go and check out the gallery show IRL. We talked about his work for a bit, and then we went to go and, like, you know, look at mine, because that's what you do. You know, we talked about his work for probably like 5-10 minutes, and I was like, so let's go check out my work. And he's like, I gotta go. And I'm like, okay. And then he continued to, like, hang out at the exhibit, and I'm like, real neat, man. I love it. Thanks. So that was weird. They had dancers out at one point, which was really cool. But they had them, like, directly in front of where the Arundel Chapel was. So you couldn't actually go and, like, look at it while they had the dancers out. It's better now, but I definitely think that this placing of the Arundel Chapel is really bad. I also should have taken the glass off of all my works. I was worried about them getting damaged, and that was... it definitely cheapened the look of my work. So in the future, I think I'll make sure I take the glass off. In fact, I might try and break in there and, like, take the glass off the work. Hopefully they don't have security devices on them, so I can do so. Hopefully they do, actually, so that way they'll come over and be like, what are you doing? The glare from the window for the Arundel Chapel, it's right next to the window, like as close to the window as possible, kind of in a cranny, was a bad placement for it. And if you get an opportunity to place your art wherever you want, make sure it's in a good spot. But I think most of the time with gallery shows, you don't get to choose that. So you have to kind of just expect that maybe it'll be in a bad spot. There's a 3D artist upstairs who has this really interesting wire piece. And they put it, like, on a glass table or on a glass exhibit booth. And so it just looks like you kind of don't even notice it because of where it's placed, because it's glass on glass. So it's basically invisible. So that was a little awkward. It was an experience. It was a learning experience for me. I'm going to keep trying to get them into stuff. I'll probably work on that more after I come back from my break. But that being said, why don't I go ahead and thank the people on Patreon who made this possible? Because, I mean, basically, like, I've been doing art at this level, or doing art this often, because I need to make these videos, and the people on Patreon help make sure that I actually do the videos, rather than going, well, you know, I'll just do it next week, you know? So thank you to the following people. Thank you, Wapfu. Thank you, Theodore Corbiere. Thank you, Spiral. Thank you, Spencer Kane. Thank you, Punkster. Thank you, Flenixia Theoran. Thank you, Oboist Kirby. Thank you, Micah. Thank you, Maliciousness. Thank you, Lost Nevada. Thank you, Kayla Hollinger. Thank you, Geizuzan. Thank you, Duxu. Thank you, Kathy Rose. Thank you, Bubba Fair. Thank you, Pep. Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Amber. Thank you, Adam Kearney. And thank you, Ants! Thank you again. If you want to join them, they're on patreon.com/RevScarecrow. If you're interested, go ahead and hit that up. If you're also interested in getting in and seeing my art exhibit, It's going to be at, like I said, the Texas State University campus in Round Rock, Texas, kind of near the IKEA. And yeah, go check it out. Let me know what you think. But anyway, this is me signing off, and this is me signing out. I hope you have a good day. I hope this is helpful. It's a bit more rambly than usual, but I figured stream of consciousness report on what happened might help you and prevent you from making the same mistakes that I did. So anyway, I'll see you for the next one. Bye.